Hello and welcome back to our last week of our knee module for our how to move your body yoga program. If you're new to me, I'm Brentan, and today we're focusing on strengthening our knee. Strengthening, we'll see that that's going to involve the muscles on the front of the leg and even the muscles on the back of the leg, and it's going to involve our ability to kind of absorb different impacts. So really excited for you to join me for this one. Go ahead, roll out your yoga mat, and when you're ready, let's get started at the top. So we can take our feet down underneath the hips, so outer hips, outer knee, outer ankle kind of all line up down below us. Just kind of rocking, doing some opening motions if you want to like rock up and down on your feet. We did foot mobility and ankle mobility already, so you can always kind of involve any of that stuff in your warm-up, especially if you know that you need something in particular. And then I'm just gonna kind of get a little bit bouncy here. See if I can use my legs evenly, see if I can figure out what neutral is. What is neutral for me? Most of us, again, knee over second toe, and then just figuring out how to support that without there being variation in my hips, variation in how I'm using my legs, or like, sometimes it sticks out this way or this way. I'm just trying to make all of that a very even experience. And then that's what we're gonna be looking to train today. So we're just gonna do it in a couple of fun different ways with different loads and legs in different positions and all that kind of stuff. So first things first, let's go in and out of a sweet little chair pose just to get ourselves warmed up. So nice, easy, soft face, big breath in as you reach the hips back, the knees forward, big breath out, push through the feet, stand up. And a few times. Try to flush attention into your whole body. So as you go down here, you're continuing to pay attention to each part of your body in the same way. So nothing is ever kind of losing you. Nothing's ever becoming too dominant, too forward. And then eventually holding our chair pose down here. Starting to feel like now I can start to feel my legs working evenly finally after all of that. So under thighs lifting, buttocks turned on, front belly washing back, maybe opening the arms to cactus if that feels good. Be sensitive though, keep your front ribs in, keep your navel in. If you want, inhale, open your chest to look up. Exhale, curl and round in. Hold your legs steady, inhale, opening. And exhale, curling back. A few more times. One more time. Good, this time exhale, forward fold over the legs. For my friends where this is a little bit too much, feel free, you can always take your elbows up under your legs. You can always push away on a countertop or a wall or the back of the couch. Seeing if we can equal out the weight between the front and the back of the foot. Really getting sensitive to that. When you're ready, roll yourself all the way on up to stand. Nice soft bend into the knees, hands onto the pelvis. Get some pelvis mobility in here. When you're ready, fold your pelvis forward, stick your butt back. And when you're ready, exhale, draw your pelvis underneath. And do what you can to really let your pelvis rotate over the tops of your thigh bones. So watch and get sensitive for, sometimes you want to do more like this, like the legs start moving to help you, right? Like you're sticking your thighs back and then forward. So what I'm suggesting is keep your thighs where they are and rotate the pelvis on top of those rounded thigh bones. It's possible, I promise. You start to feel this stretch out your lower abdomen or like on the front of your hip bones. Those are our hip flexors. Yay! We found them. We'll find them some more. Okay, go back down over the legs to forward fold. See how this is. Okay, if you can't straighten your legs, AKA if you can't extend your knees here, that means that we have just a little bit, maybe stopping us in the hamstrings, maybe stopping us in the calves or the low back, something stopping us. So eventually, it's possible for our legs to be fully extended and fully flexed in a variety of positions. So just so we know it's possible, that doesn't mean it's possible today or perhaps even in our lifetime, considering, our history and all of that kind of stuff. But just so we kind of know what the potential is. When you're ready, lifting forward out of the pelvis, and then folding, and then grounding through your feet. Inhale, reach wide and high, all the way up to the sky. Exhale, take your hands down in front of your chest. Okay, let's take what should we do first? This one might be fun first. Okay, we're gonna come down to chair pose. Okay. And in our chair pose, again, a little bit bouncy, just trying to distribute everything evenly down here. And then we all get to decide. All of our movement, there's like a spectrum. We're just trying to get a benefit, and the benefit doesn't have to be doing the pose one way. It could be doing the pose a range. So the first thing is, can I lift my right heel away from the ground without sassing my hips over to this side? In other words, can I hold my left leg steady and keep that knee tracking where it's supposed to track? Just for these purposes, right? And then I'm just seeing lifting and lowering. Lifting and lowering. Hard, right? Like a lot of what we do falls into that category of simple, not easy. So if you want, you can now pick the whole foot up and see if you can balance. Squeezing the knee up without squeezing that side of the pelvis. Keeping your pelvis evenly set between your legs, between your armpits. If you can practice in a room with a mirror in it, even better, because then you can kind of measure it. Okay, go ahead, come on out of that. Release that leg, straighten the legs, shake it out. Come back down. We got our other side to do. So we keep for me now, the right leg. Left heel up. Just trying to feel. Left heel down. And up. And down. And up. And down. Keep going or lift the whole butt. And you can lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. Do what makes sense. I mean, you're at home. I don't know what you're doing. Do it. Okay, come on up. Okay, so remember when we did our ankle mobility, we got up on a block or like a Harry Potter book? Let's do that. You can also get up on 2 blocks. I'm gonna do that just to show you what's something really not fun to do. So 1 block or 2 block, it's your choice. This will also depend on your ankle mobility. Okay, maybe, I don't know which way to show this. I'll show it this way. So we're gonna get up, I'm gonna get up with my left foot first. I'm gonna make sure that a little bounce in that leg is possible. And if I'm cut off, oh well. I didn't test this when we were testing the camera. So we're just trying to keep, now your hovering leg, bring your hovering leg into a position so it's standing. So your pelvis isn't shifted off, your standing leg then has to do a lot of work, right? Okay, so we're gonna do, we were working on our ankle dorsiflexion last time when we lowered the standing leg down to the ground. We're gonna do that again, knee forward, over the second toe, hip back. The craziest stuff is that we can't let our left bottom swivel out to the side. So it has to stay behind us, and this gets crazy. I mean, I'm where I'm at right now because so this is why, like, if you only have one block, then rock the block, because I need to keep letting my knee forward, my hip back without cheating. Oh, sweet. Okay, so when your foot's on the floor, which maybe your foot's on the floor, stay there, and now look at your standing leg. Knee over second toe, hip straight back. So then this one, same thing, all the way down. Everything's tracking where we want it to. This is training this thigh like a mofo. So this, gotta squeeze, and we gotta use these muscles to squeeze and draw the kneecap up, and we gotta press down and see if we can get back up. And we're gonna see if we can just do this once, twice, 3, maybe even 10, but I won't make us do 10. And truly, it's like however many blocks or however high you are, it's really a different challenge point. So if you're not feeling much on one block, consider, and 2 is quite a lot. Like, you can find other things at home to stand on. Okay, you ready to switch? I am. I'm just gonna come down easy, and I'm gonna shake it off, and I'm gonna come up to my other side. And so even if you don't get that foot totally lower to the ground, who cares? We're just training a position. We're just training a position. And so my first things first here, like, that's why I like the bounce, because the bounce makes my joints set in like a way that's quasi-normal. And then it feels okay to work with them after that. So I'm just gonna see, can I bend my knee, take my knee forward, my hips back in equal measure, right? I'm not pushing that side of the pelvis out. I like to hold my abdomen and hold my pelvis so I can feel it, because otherwise I cheat. I know I'm a big cheater. Okay, when you get down, these are good sounds, by the way. When you get down, knee over the second toe, hip back. Do you feel it? Do you feel it? Press down. Can you lift up? And so just see however many more. I'm just gonna take my time and do 1. Okay, when you're done, I'm gonna be done. Come on out. Okay, shake it all off, release the blocks, and let's step the feet wide at the center of the mat. We'll do some lunging now, okay? So from this position, so the feet draw as wide out as is comfortable. We know how to set our feet in a wide position. We know kind of what wide position we'd like, generally speaking. So now we can soften a deep bend into the knee, just kind of go right then left, right then left. And then eventually turn your heels in, your toes out so that your legs widen, but your knees still track over their second toes. So for my friends where your knees are knocking in, that's telling you where your external hip rotation is. Like, the thigh bone can't crank them open anymore. So you just got to do your part to line your toes and your knees together. Okay. And we want to find like a position here where I'm going to get a little bit bouncy. I want to try to feel myself evenly, knees track over their second toes. This is really opposed to kind of, you should feel the inner groin and thigh stretching. And so from here, I'm gonna turn my front toes forward. I'm gonna lift onto my back toes. My whole body then follows. So I'm forward in kind of a starter lunge position. I just say starter because it's like kind of mild, and I use that to press my feet down evenly, draw my second toes up to my knees, draw my knees evenly up into my hips, even out my hip bones to my armpits, all the good stuff. And then I can take a bend into the knee. And it's from here I can work with bending and straightening any amount, trying to keep my pelvis even and level between the legs. Then coming up, okay, grounding my back heel, keeping the knees continuously opening over their second toes. I'm gonna come back to that wide-legged horse pose, okay? Heels in, toes out, come on down. You can even make this more restorative if you want, just kind of hang out with your hands on your legs. Okay, coming up, turning my back toes up, turning my left toes forward. So now I'm facing the back of the mat. So I take my little starter position to evenly use my feet, evenly draw my legs into the knees into the hips, all the way up. And then any amount, bending that leg. When you're bending that leg, it's not like the upper body is going forward with it either, PS, okay? We need to feel the upper body floating over the pelvis. And it's more like, think of your upper body wanting to be more with your back leg in a lunge. Any lunge, doesn't matter. Warrior 1, Warrior 2, all of them, okay? So if you feel your knees evenly set, can you feel them evenly set in your hips? Get a little bouncy maybe. And then some bending and straightening action. One or both. Really paying attention to how the legs are tracking. If they're shaking, they're getting fatigued, great, take breaks. Just because I'm doing it for this period of time doesn't mean that's how long you should be able to do it. So we also want to be able to read these other signs of our experience that tell us like, hey, you're going to get more out of this if you take a break, you recover a little bit, and then you try again tomorrow, right? So come on back to your horse pose. Center of the mat. You sway a little bit left to right. Let's go one more time, facing the front, right leg forward. We take some time to press the feet, draw them into the hips, coming down as much as feels good, as wise. Shaking is good, even like that little antsiness of like, crap, I don't like this. That can sometimes be good. We just need to be able to read, like when are we psychologically resisting something versus when is my body in an unsafe position. And in your own time, coming back to horse. So just taking that lunge time to, kind of feel out what feels good for you. Turning towards the back. Setting the legs, setting the lunge. And then coming back all the way to horse. And then coming up, one at a time, turning the legs into neutral. And then heel toe or bend up all the way in. I have one more thing if you want to play. One more, just to, and then we'll charge off into our day with the strongest legs ever. So, chair. Okay, chair. Okay, and in our chair, remember we were just like this on the block, kind of, right? Lifting one heel, lifting the foot, maybe. Keeping that bottom leg tracking, and we're just gonna reach the right foot around in different areas on the mat, in different directions, close by the leg, far away from the leg, really like whatever makes sense, over the leg. And this whole time I'm just trying to train that stability of that standing leg so that the hip doesn't move, the knee doesn't move. As you feel ready to change, come back through center. You can always come out of the lunge or the pose, coming back in. And then same thing on that other side. And then very good, we made it, just reach. Take some deep breaths. Maybe roll out through your neck a little bit or through your shoulders. Just giving yourself kind of some time to be deliberate in a rest. Okay, great job today, you guys. So next week, we're gonna change the tune from the knees to the hips. Lots of stuff going on there. So it's gonna take us like, I don't know, 2 months maybe to get through the whole thing. So that'll be really great. We have a good solid foundation built up for us for that. And then, oh yeah, if you want to support these videos, our ability to make them, make sure that we're staying up to date on all our research, we have time to do that, consider joining us on Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you become a patron of ours. In return, you get all of our thanks in the world, plus all of our resources, and then just kind of like community thank you presents, like Q&A calls and live stream classes that are just for our Patreon community. So I have that link for you in the description below, and then that's it. So have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for joining. I'll see you here next time.